Good evening, everyone. And so nice to see so many of you here today. I think the topic has attracted you today, isn't it? And we have called it the game of perception. Now, what is perception? We know it, the literal meaning of it. It is something that our mind decides to see from a perspective that we think is valid for us, right? And that perception extends not only to what we think about maybe the person, the situation, the things around us, but that perception is also based on the 5 elements that we live by. And that is taste, touch, visual, and hearing, and sensing. So what happens? We see things from the way we decided to view it. A simple example would be, let's say, you've gone with your friends for a movie, any movie, and you come out of it. One may say, I loved the film. The second may say, what was so good about the film? It was terrible. The third may say, actually, this part of it was okay, but the rest was bad. So what are we seeing here? Different perceptions of the same element. Now, perception is a very strong consciousness that rules our lives. We don't realize it. We allow it to be the ruler for our very existence. We make it the Raja of our lives. How? Example, a dog suddenly jumps on you, comes running and wants to jump on you. There are only 2 reactions. Either you'll think instantly that it's come to attack you, or, sort of bite you or attack you. Or the other may be that, yeah, here's a beautiful dog and it wants that love from me and I'm going to give it that love. So haven't you seen your own reactions? The way an animal comes charging towards you, because we don't have that time to see whether the tail is wagging or whether the dog is looking happy. The first reaction is, oh my God, it's coming to attack me. That is our perception. Probably it just wants to be happy with you and welcome you in the house, whoever you're visiting. And there are people who just don't like to be with animals. That's a different thing altogether. So sometimes when you visit people's homes, they tie up their dogs, or their pets so that you are not disturbed and you can feel at ease. So that's just a very simple example. Now today, we thought we'll play the game of perception. How do we play it? And I want a good participation. It is not a dialogue, it's not a lecture that I'm giving over here. It is to make us understand and be aware of how we can play the game of perception in our lives so that our reality or the reality that we want to see flips for the better or changes the lives of others too. So anybody who's coming forward to give me an example, suppose I said, how was your relationship with, let's say, your brother as a child or your father? Some of you may come forward and give examples of that. My father was very, very authoritarian, and he would beat us up, and he would be very strict and a disciplinarian. And I was traumatized right from childhood till today. Now, this is just one example I'm giving. Yes, I'm happy to see your hand raised. Yes, Shikha. Tell me, what is it that you'd like us to know about your perception of your maybe brother or father or even mother for that matter?
So, ma'am, for me, my brother has played the role as a father,
Okay,
and my father was just like DDLJ ke Amrish Puri, you know.
okay,
Yeah, so everybody must have seen that movie. So it's like very strict, and with girls, so he has a simple formula ki you do whatever you want to do, but after marriage. And
okay.
yes, and jitna he was strict, utna ही me and my sister were like rule breaker. And
Hmm.
I have broken all the rules, all the regulations, what my father has made for me.
And today, how does that make you feel?
Ma'am, in lot many things, I feel very good about it. Ki thank God that God was there, and आज मैं जो भी हूँ अपने पैरों पे अपनी वजह से हूँ टाइप्स. बट अगर मैंने रेडिकल के बाद बहुत सारे स्पिरिचुअल कोर्सेज करे हैं, लेकिन स्पेशली रेडिकल के बाद मुझे इतनी अवेयरनेस आई है कि आई कैन से कि माय ममा वाज वेरी लिबरल. सो
Okay,
ये कहीं ना कहीं बिकॉज ऑफ माय मदर आई एम व्हाट आई एम टुडे.
okay. So you see, we have classified, Shikha, thank you for this example. We
थैंक
have
यू.
already classified our parents. He was strict, he was a disciplinarian, my mother was liberal, and I decided to follow her path. And today I'm an independent person and I used to do what I wanted to as a child, right? So if you're listening to yourself, do you realize the brilliance of what your dad did to you? If he wasn't that strict or a disciplinarian, maybe that element, that part of you that needed to stand and be strong and learn to be independent on your own feet may not have arisen. Yes, it came out as a rebellion,
वेरी
but
वेरी ट्रू मैम.
yes, but today, if you look at it, your mother was like that, calming, soothing balm. वो कौन सा balm होता है? झंडू balm or something like that. Any balm to make you feel at ease and calm you, to make you feel grounded because you were still in the process of growing up. Correct. But if your father had not done what he did, or I'm not talking about cruelty, okay? If it was in terms of violence, etc., that's a different game because then your life or anybody's life can get totally, uh, absolutely, what should I say, unfortunate, right?
No, it would have
So,
been very different.
yes, yes. Now, today, think of it that what your father did and what you are today in terms of your independence. Do you see the brilliance or do you understand the brilliance in the whole drama?
Yes, ma'am. In fact, long time back only somebody made me realize कि if I belong to a exporter's family where I had a chauffeur-driven car, मतलब it's like huge bungalow and all the facility which a person can think. But still, I chose the path because I wanted to make my career, for which he was not agreeing.
Right.
He said you live life like a princess, but I was like, I want to make my career. He said, I will not allow you. So the brilliance is, if he would have not been not been strict, so today I would have not been standing on my feet. Well, I मेरे पास कोई career ही नहीं होता. I would have been as good as a female who is a housewife, who is looking after the kid and going to the kitty party, which is not wrong. But for me, I consider it, I was made to, I love working, and
Mm-hmm.
I get attracted towards working women.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that was better instead of
Yes.
getting ready, going to kitty parties and all.
Right. So he fulfilled your need to be guided, to be on the right path that you chose. Remember, we say it in Radical all the time that each one comes down on this planet with their respective stories. Each one has their own individual story. No, nobody can say that because you are in one family, it will be the same for everyone. It can't. It won't. Because even as siblings, growing up in the same family. Your siblings, let's say your brother, his story will be different. Your story will be different. Your mother's story will be different. Your father's will be different. But you have been brought together in this single unit for you to experience, co-experience, go through certain experiences together, common experiences, but to shape individual soul's journey onwards. Right? So have you noticed, even if you are twins, they're not the same. They don't behave the same. I mean, the commonalities are there, but they might choose different paths in their careers. They might choose different options in their lives. One might choose to be a creative person, not choose, or it must be coming from within. The other could be more of a researcher or that kind of a person. So anything can happen in the lives and the marriages and how it takes them forward, or not getting married, how it takes them forward is all their personal story. So when your father, coming from his belief systems and his conditioning and his need to protect his family, that was his reality. But me as a daughter, Shikha, decided that he is limiting my life, and I am going to rebel against it. Because why? I want to lead a life where I can have my kind of career, my choices, and what I want to live. And in that, if there were certain elements of rebellion, there was a mother who was there to balance it off so that you are cushioned in life to go through the process of rebellion and growth with simplicity. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Totally.
Uh, Thank you. I'll come to you others again. Pooja, I think you had raised your hand. I'm sorry for my long lecture and I missed out. Would you like to say something now? Pooja? Okay.
So, ma'am, I have understood one thing
Uh-huh.
yesterday only, obviously
Uh-huh.
through Radical only. Even the parents have to do a certain things as per the life lesson of their children.
Sorry, I missed it again. I was trying to read the messages. Purva,
Okay.
can you just see what's written there? Yeah. Come again, Suruchi.
Yeah. So I have understood yesterday only this Batti Jali Dimaki types. He, even the parents have to teach a lesson to the soul, so they behave differently with the different children.
Yes.
Like if you have two children, the parents have to, whether if they don't want also, then also they have to teach those children some lesson. So they behave like that.
Very true, Suruchi. But again, you see, because there are the certain elements that are attached to each individual. Yeah,
Correct.
like
Yeah.
two siblings. So the
Yeah.
consciousness of each is operating at different vibrations and frequencies. Some child may need extra attention. And because a parent has to give that extra attention to that child, the other child starts feeling neglected or sidelined or feels, that nobody loves me. And what does that child do? Makes that a part of their own belief system and grow up with that nobody loves me. So what happens? That is the perception that he or she has decided to grow up with. What happens? As they are growing, they keep attracting instances where they are questioned for everything that is happening in their space, and they feel sort of victimized, or they feel cornered, and they feel everybody hates me, nobody loves me, everybody loves my brother, I am unwanted. So you see how many elements are getting added on, how many energies are getting added on. And the more these energies get added on, the more we complicate our existence And the more we make it difficult for us to move forward in a free and effortless manner. So Redikall is so simple. It is just telling you learn your ABC and live with it. Don't try to complicate it and make it a khichdi which you also cannot digest. So simple. I mean, every time you'll see me saying it, just make it easy and effortless. How does that happen? It can only happen when we decide that, yes, I know I have sort of accumulated or kept all these things inside me. They are not helping me. They're not helping me to grow. They're not helping me to be the me, because the way we are, we will continue to meet those, sort of face those challenges all the time in our lives. The same kind of situations, where you are challenged, where you feel victimized, where you feel that I'm not loved, will keep arising, and you are perceiving it that way. That may not be the reality. Haven't you noticed sometimes when a couple, when they have some kind of disagreement and both are angry with each other, और दोनों एक दूसरे से बात नहीं करते हैं, फिर next day probably to break the ice, they decide, okay, let's sort it out. So she says that, all that I was expecting was that you will maybe take me out for dinner because it was a weekend or something like that, just you and me. So the man says, तुमने कहा ही नहीं. You could have told me. It was so simple. इतनी सी बात थी. We could have done it. Then the woman says that, how am I to know that if you want to go or not? I'm just giving a simple dialogue. So you see, each one's perception based on the energy the other was radiating. So you already assumed कि भाई इसको कहने का कोई फायदा नहीं है, he will not do it or she will not do it. Haven't you heard a lot of times, in couples, especially when they've grown older together, they say ये तो इसकी आदत है, इसको बोलने दो. But they're comfortable, they're okay, they're not in a difficult space. Because by that time, they have learned all those lessons and learnings, I would say, which brought them together on this journey as partners. It's not that they did not go through the ups and downs, right? But it helped them to find their own kind of piece in the puzzle of life so that they fit together. And you know, when you put two pieces of puzzle together, there is always that line in between, no? In between the puzzle pieces. So the line is there, that's okay. No problem. But the pieces have fit well together and life is going on. So the moment we decide to shift our reality is the time that we are deciding that life is, again, easy, effortless, and we can make it fun. So now I've talked enough. Let me speak to Beena. Yes, Beena? Let me just read the chat. 1 minute. Let me just read the chat. Okay. Okay. So Pooja, maybe you'll write it in the chat and I'll take it up from there. Yes, Beena. If you could show yourself, it will be wonderful. There's nothing to hide from. Yes, Beena, tell me.
Yeah, so from beginning, whatever you have been telling or others have been telling, I have been resonating with each part of it. So, and have got the learning although. I have also been thinking about how else I can improve my relationship with my parents and my siblings, but not to an extent that I am bending as if I don't. I want to maintain my self-esteem. Okay. So at times I remain silent. At times I react. At times I make it very clear to them, telling that being independent, having led my life, so long, wherein there has been no neither any support nor I expected it. So with what authority are you even commenting or
Okay.
talking anything? Okay, that is how it started actually.
Mhm.
And no, there is actually nothing in the sense anything that is visible on WhatsApp or anything.
Okay.
With my parents, there was a lot of improvement actually, which started from my end itself few months back.
Mhm.
Whereas now again recently, it is again the same.
Mhm.
I would
Okay.
not blame anyone because I would not blame anyone in the sense why? Because I don't think every time I'm correct. Because when I
Right.
react like a volcano
Mhm.
for all the things that has happened, okay, and
Mhm.
to listen, it becomes very troublesome or irritating for me. So I react, and everything comes out.
So, Beena, you've just said,
And I believe that is the reason where they cut off with me.
right.
Okay,
Okay.
I have even made statement that what do you expect from me?
Mhm.
Remain silent, you have a problem. If I, even these kind of sessions I attend, Aarti, they have a problem with that as well.
Mhm.
Has this been the session that I had attended at my native or in presence of my family members? They don't like it. Some of the times, some disturbance has been caused or a network issue, one or the other thing.
So there seems to be a resistance of some kind that is inside you also. And
Yeah.
then you are talking about, the troublesome and irritating part. You know, I'd like to tell the audience here completely, when you're talking, just be aware of the words that you use. They are the key in itself to tell you what you need to work on. So when you say troublesome, when you say irritating, when you say ignored, or angry and etc., whatever, work on it, because just think about it. What did I just say? I used troublesome, I used irritating, I used whatever other words. So you can start working on them on your own. Forget the situation. And somewhere have you decided to be a victim? If you have, that is why you are being treated like that. Like they kind of victimize you as the situation is.
वो वाला गाना भी लगाओ एक बार चल मेरे
Okay, so I broke my trend of thoughts.
So we
Yeah,
need
so
to
you
watch our thoughts. I mean, the
no,
words that we
yeah,
use.
the words that we use, and we need to exercise that caution. Like in your case, I would say a simple statement like, "I transform and transcend my irritation." Now, don't try to say irritation towards parents. You can say it simply just my irritation, because this irritation is not just coming from what your parents or your siblings are doing to you. This may be right from childhood, whereby things kept irritating you or you kept irritating others, so much so that today it has become an irritant.
No, simple matter, Aarti. I had
Yeah.
gone to my native for the pending dental matter. Okay. The treatment that was, and it ended up with another experienced surgeon. Okay. Naturally, I had to extend. Okay. Neither I want to extend nor my my parents are there only at my native at that point of time, nor they are actually willing me to be there. Okay. Whereas they felt, okay, maybe because of Deepavali, you can extend. Anyhow, you are on a lookout or whatsoever. Okay. Then, see, gradually, neither my mother cooks, nor she is allowing me to cook. Okay. कल का बचा हुआ या फिर है ना something like that. ठीक से पकाएगी भी नहीं. ठीक है. And everything is ready. Okay. Cut vegetables are there. Vegetables are there. And even if I bring from outside, it is not only her, my father also. Okay. Now, see, and when I tell, okay, because of this reason, anyhow, I am there, I am planning to leave soon. Because of this reason, is it so that, आप अपना and anything that I say, see, I follow Ayurveda or anything, okay? Now, I suggest something they don't want to follow, fine with it. ठीक है अभी मैं खाना पीना भी ऊपर नीचे होगा तो because my health has got impacted very badly after. Okay, so now when I say this, I literally don't understand that, they know that my health will get impacted. Okay, they are not fine with me bringing anything from outside or cooking. Okay, or they themselves don't even do that. Okay, and they also know that I am not able to leave immediately. They also have any problem if I have any kind of interaction with outside people there.
Okay. So one thing we can see here, Bina,
So to an extent, when I was to leave from here, Bangalore to my native, okay, when I communicated, I was told that when you come here, you are not supposed to go anywhere, not going to meet anyone, this, that, and all. I also commented, I'm coming for this reason, being the main priority. Anything that you want me to take to or whatsoever can be thought about. Having said this, you are not going to stop me with such kind of conditions. Because I am not a person to talk something nonsense just like you do. And I
so,
literally
Bina, I have
so, and after that communication only I have come down there.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And see, for example, if I meet my family doctor, they have a problem. Because they know that I do personal things to them, I take their suggestion or anything, or I discuss.
So, Bina, what I can see here is that there is a lot of, issues that are there which have sort of got absolutely magnified in your life. Yeah, because of the perceptions and the way they all have become your reality. And your parents may be coming from certain beliefs and, their own lifestyle and the way they thought they wanted their daughter to be. And you also, because of whatever you have experienced, you have gone through a lot of unwanted pain for yourself, which has resulted in maybe a little complications at the physical level also. Okay. So my recommendation, how often do you go to open house? Do you go to open house to meet the mentors over there to do your healing? Have you done that, Bina? Are you a premium member?
I haven't been actually.
The
chat
be a
window was
recommendation.
Suggested yesterday.
Yes. What level are you doing with us?
I have completed level 1 twice.
All right. So then the chat line is also available. That is from 6 o'clock in the morning till 9 p.m. Every weekday from Monday to Friday. You will get your solutions. You will have somebody attending to you because when there are so many issues with you, I'm not calling them issues, I'm sorry for the word. When there are so many situations that you need to deal with and heal, the process may take a little more time because this is just the start. Okay? And you have entered Redikall, and Redikall with its simple solutions. As long as you are willing to surrender and let go of all that is stored inside you, will be a big help. You can go to the chat lines, you can go to the open house and get your healing done over there. People will help you out and that will simplify things because this platform here is just more for just a kind of discussion. But I'll take a reading for you. Just a minute, Veena. Let's see what it says for you.
I appreciate that because I was missing this 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. session as usual.
No problem.
I did not know that it is not happening today.
Okay, so this is called consolidation of existence chakra. And that means reminder to overcome ill effects of past devastation or trauma.
Past what and trauma?
Ill effects of past devastation or trauma. Okay. Yeah. So what it is saying is that it is quite possible that your experiences of trauma and devastation in the past are still affecting you in the present. If there are traces of emotional charge associated with them, it's time for you to let them go. That means basically just surrender and allow everything to heal in your space. You need to overcome the ill effects of those devastating and traumatizing experiences from your past. Reconnect to that part of your personality which felt lost due to the impact of the shock and consolidate your existence in the now. So when you start learning to live in the now, means that you have let go or decided to heal all that is traumatizing you or hurting you or irritating you from the past, so that your movement forward is easier. And when you have allow all this to shift, your reality shifts, means the space around you, the energies around you also shift. Today, if they don't understand you, coming online and talking like this also, tomorrow they might say, okay, I think it's time for you to go online. Or, maybe it is the time like that. Now, expecting solutions immediately may not be possible. But does this resonate with you, Bina, what I just said?
Yeah, it resonates to be in the now.
To be
let
in
go,
the now?
to be in the now and to surrender.
Yeah. So, IR5, the past effect of devastation.
IR5, the past effects of irritation.
Devastation.
Sorry?
Or you can, devastation. IR5,
IR5,
the past effects
the past effects
of
of
devastation.
devastation. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let me just read the chat. Is that okay, Bina?
Yeah. Thank you, Apurva. I made a note of it.
Okay. And now I have a Pooja has written, ma'am, Pooja, I'm reading it out because otherwise nobody will know what we're talking about. Is that okay with you? If you can just type it. Yes, okay. So, Pooja has written, ma'am, my parents had tiny, medium, and big, all types of fights as normal couples do. That's what I have been told. But each time, even a small argument happened, I would tell myself I would never want to get married. So I kept telling myself I don't want to. But eventually I got married. Now, every time I have a fight with my husband, small or big, I keep telling myself I don't want to be with him. It's been 15 years, I'm married. Right. So, Pooja, if I think you would understand from what we have talked or what we are talking today, that those images of the fights and the negative vibrations that they produced got impacted you very, very deeply. Okay. So in a way, they became a part of you. That means it traumatized you. And seeing this between parents, because they are the pillars of love and care and security and providing and everything else that constitutes life: love, care, joy, happiness, solace, and money. Everything that comes to us comes from our parents, right? Because they give us that feeling of security, comfort, growth, right? But because of what happened, and every time they fought, and you took a vow, you took a promise, you made a promise to yourself, I will never get married, because of what you were watching, right? So you need to break this vow. You need to break this promise to yourself, because that is holding you back. What you perceived then, you made your reality today with your husband. Do you understand now? So that perception of seeing that, I know it is painful. Yes, Pooja, you've made the crying emoji. But Life is not painful. Maybe you were meant to go through this experience. Maybe the soul wanted Pooja to experience this part of life in such a way so that she learns from it and is able to come out of it to improve her own life with her partner as she moves forward. Do you understand that, Pooja? You may have to write because you are not able to open up. Yes, okay. So what level are you with us, Pooja? Can you write? Level 1, part 1, part 2, part 1. So you've just started your journey with us, so don't worry. Again, as I told Beena, the chat lines are open every day from 6 to 9. You can go there. People will be there to help you sort out and make you do recitations, etc. Or you can go to open house. Okay. Open house is available on Monday to Saturday, except on Wednesdays. All right. And we have 3 timings for it. You will find it written in the premium section. That is morning 6:30 to 8, then 10:30 to 12, and then in the evening 7:30 to 9. And that time you can get help and support from the senior facilitators who will be there to help you sort it out. And when we go to the website isolvelife.com, just go to the website isolvelife.com and there will be a chat, what do you call it? Button. Just have to press that. And then, that's right. Thank you, Papurva. So that will help you connect immediately and you will be taken care of. Beena, you can also do the same thing, or anybody else can also do.
7:30 to 9, and 10:30 to 12 noon. And morning, what time are senior professionals available?
6:30 to 8, but that is open house. That is different. Chat lines are available from 6 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night continuously.
Yeah. So there are senior practitioners available.
All senior practitioners are available there and they will help you and guide you.
Okay. So what is the difference between open house and chat window otherwise?
Chat is for anybody who comes to the website, they will get help. That means when some newcomers can also come, right? Not people who are just doing Redikall. So when they come there, they may have any kind of queries and we help them. We help them to understand, to learn, or maybe they want to know about Redikall. It is a general chat line and we have just started it. So it's a great place to be and you can get your solutions there too. But open house is open only to people who are doing the courses. So you've done level 1, level 2, level 3, all levels, you get access to open house and there you can go and sort of sort out your problems verbally. Chat line is only chatting. It is not vocal.
Whereas open house is only for people who are undergoing the courses, right?
Yes. Yes.
Not who have already undergone.
Yeah, you can come. I mean, you can pay once you have finished the course, you can come back and be a member and then you continue to get the benefits of open house also. There are the other benefits also, becoming a premium member. So you can have, body talk. There are 2 levels. One is classic member, one is premium member. So classic members also have something called body talk, where all the chakras are given, which give you an indication what is going wrong. And if you're feeling a pain here or something is hurting here, why exactly things are happening in that space. It's a lovely Redikall app that we have. And in that Redikall app, download the Redikall app from Google or from, what is it called?
Play Store.
Play Store. Yeah, Play Store. And then you will see the benefits that you can avail over there. But for classic member and premium member, there is a price to it. Then you have to pay a minimum charge for it. I think not for classic, but for premium. Apurva, you may be able to tell us better. Do you have an answer for that?
Aarti, I have this RCM book otherwise.
That's fine. That's fine. Who said that? I didn't hear who said that.
Bina said that, ma'am.
Okay, Bina said that. All right. That's okay. But if you, there you will get one-on-one conversation happening, Bina. That would be a big help. So
Okay.
Pooja, to just conclude for Pooja. So if you find this is a pattern, first you need to get rid of your vows. So just say, I transform and transcend my oaths, vows, and promises. I transform and transcend my oaths, vows, and promises. You can also say, I transform and transcend. It's not curses, it is a vow that you took, Pooja, that I don't want to get married. That's a promise to yourself, that's a vow you took, that's an oath you took. So let's break it. First, we need to break that. And once that is broken and whatever emotions start coming out, thoughts or feelings or emotions, one can work on it further. And for that, you need to be either in open house or on the chat line. Is that clear, Pooja? Yes, ma'am. All right. So I transform and transcend my oaths, vows, and promises, or I transform and transcend the reason for my oaths, vows, and promises. Apurva, if you can write it in the group. And I transform and transcend the brilliance in my oaths, vows, and promises. Now, why am I saying brilliance? Today, Pooja, you have been made aware of it. Surely nobody wants a marriage to break or, things to go wrong. But because you are so afraid and that is inside you and has become a conditioning, that is in terms of, the fights that you may be having with your partner. So that has sort of terrorized you inside. So first we get rid of all the oaths, vows, and promises. And after that, we can work further on it. Okay? Pooja, is that clear? I'll have to read again if Pooja has written anything. Yes, you can do it 21 days. Yeah, you can. You see, this is not just a 21-day thing. Technically, I would tell you to do it for 3 months. But start doing it and see how you feel. And either you go to the chat or to the open house and take it further there. That I was told to do this. Now I'm feeling like this. And then we work with it. Maybe you're feeling guilty. Maybe you're feeling that there are some other emotions that are coming up. So then the facilitators, the practitioners will help you work on it. Okay, Pooja? Sorry. Okay. Right. So who else would like to? Okay, since it has gone so personal,
Aarti, can I ask one more question?
may I give somebody else a chance first, Bina? Is that
Yeah.
okay? Then we'll
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah. Who else would like to ask something? The perceptions and the realities.
Arthi, it is my perception to earn money is difficult.
Oh, that is a belief that you have formed inside you that to earn money. So, Manju, nice to see you here. So, the thing is, as you know, money is a consciousness. Okay. Like everything else in life, money is also a consciousness. And money treats you the way you treat money. Now, that's difficult to understand, but we have a tendency that money, if I don't have money, I am not going to be secure. Correct? So what do? We lock away our money in banks
No,
or in the
it's
cupboard.
I have opposite. Spending is easy.
Your voice is breaking, Manju. I didn't hear it
I
correctly.
Hello. Spending is easy for me.
Right. Okay, spending is easy for you. No, I'm just explaining right now. I'm not saying about you. So what happens is that we have a tendency to lock away our money. Okay, we'll need it when the time, maybe we have bad times, then I'll need the money. We go with that thought, not in terms of I am investing my money so that I prosper. We think of it कि नहीं वो जब बुरे वक्त में काम आएगा या कौन जाने कब जरूरत पड़ जाए. We go with that thought. When we have that kind of thought, money says, okay, better off. I am not going to go beyond this. I'm just going to remain and stagnate in your cupboard or in your locker unless you learn to use me. Because what are you doing? You're abusing me by just locking me away. I get no fresh air. I get no life. I don't get to be spent. Okay. So the point is that you don't have to be arrogant in spending or just throwing away money. There has to be again, dignity attached to what money wants from you. You want to raise your prosperity consciousness. To raise that prosperity consciousness, you need to think how and what you want out of that money. So if that money is for, let's say you want to get more clients, in terms of work, or let's say you want to use that money, you want more money for, okay, Manju, in your case, what do you want more money for?
I think to increase my self-worth.
So you have linked your worth, self-worth to money. So if you're spending too much, check, is it a wasteful spending also that is happening? Be honest with yourself.
Yeah. Waste. Actually, I can't save money.
Right. So money says if you can't save yourself, how can you save money? And that is why your self-worth is taking a beating. Because you are not honoring yourself. So money is not honoring you. When you start honoring yourself, what will you do? You will become aware and conscious of how to spend that money. You will think, okay, do I really need to buy 10, clothes, 10 pair of new suits? No, I just need maybe 2. And if I'm taking new 2 suits, I need to take out 2 old suits, which I can give away to somebody so that my cupboard is also not stuffed. Do I do that? No. So what happens? My cupboard starts getting stuffed and stuffed and stuffed. So there is a locking of that kind of energy also in our space. We don't allow growth. What are we creating? Stagnation by spending money. So when we are stagnating, our own self-worth will always go down. Manju, so I would request that maybe you work with the statement IR5, my association of spending money with growth. IR5, my association of spending money with growth.
Okay.
So, and work on your self-worth. Then I awaken self-worth in my life. I awaken the worthy me. Okay, Manju?
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So you can work on that.
I awaken the worthy mean?
I awaken self-worth in my life. I awaken the worthy me. Right?
Yeah, another statement also you had said, I awaken the self-worth in my life apart from that.
It's all written. Apurva has written it there. You can check in the chat.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
has
yeah,
written
yeah,
it.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. So again, coming back to perception versus reality, how are you treating your children? What do you think is their need, or what do you think they are doing to you? Anyone? So you see, it works at all levels. It's not only about me, it is about how I am perceived by my child. Sometimes when a child is angry, it uses certain words which may be said in anger of a child, but you should listen to them. Sometimes a child may say, "You're a monster," or "You're very evil." Okay, these are simple words for the child. But try and imagine, he's maybe talking when he says monster. What is monster for you? How do you perceive a monster? Because a child feeling that you are a monster, what does it involve? Maybe it involves that you're very aggressive with him. Maybe it involves that you are always trying to tower over him to make him feel small. Making anybody feel small is not a good idea. Anybody for that matter, right? So when a child says you're a monster, or you're no good as a mother, you've never been a good mother, think about it. She may have said it in anger, but where is that perception coming from? What is it that you are doing to your child? Don't justify it all the time, because you need to be dispassionate and look at things from a perspective to understand, okay, this is what has been said about me. How can I improve this part in myself? Maybe you're always talking top down. That means pointing fingers and saying, "Tumne ye nahi kiya, tum aise ho, tumko pitai hogi," or whatever. I mean, no, nowadays nobody does pitai, of course. But I'll give you a very cute example. Um, when my son was just about 2 years old, just started learning to speak. So when he would get a little agitated, he would say, "Manengego." I used to wonder, what does that mean? Every time he would, and not only to me, to others around, he would say, "Manengego." And it never made any sense. So we used to say, "What are you trying to say?" Then one day, he was irritating me a lot and troubling me. I was trying to do something. I don't even remember. It was so many years ago. So I said to him, "Maringam tumko." So that's exactly what he was telling me, "Manengego." He couldn't talk. 1.5 years or whatever it was. The moment I said it, I burst out laughing. And I realized that my child is saying exactly the same, mirroring it and telling me exactly the same thing, or to the others, कि मारेंगे हम तुमको. Though it was never done, but it was just a threat all the time. And honestly, I just changed it that way. I don't know what prompted me, but we made it a joke. I mean, I started making him realize or feel that, okay, this is a joke, let's share it. So we made a game out of it. And so, touch wood, that did not have, I would say I was able to get that out of the system, but this is the way it affects the child. We don't realize what we are doing, what we say, what we happen to project. So what is that reality? What reality do you want your child to see about you as a parent, you as a friend, you as a guide, you as a mother, you as a provider? Sometimes as a provider, we say, "No, we can't afford it right now. You must understand. You're grown up enough to understand." No, they're not grown up enough. "I can't buy you this. I can't do this." There's a difference between disciplining and giving a sob story. So be careful that it doesn't become a sob story, because you can't put it on the child. You have to do a lot of work. to make sure that you are giving the right values, the right approach, the right thinking, and the right growth pattern to your child, so that he doesn't have to grow up with those kind of traumas or situations that you grew up with. Of course, it's not easy. I'm not saying that everything can become hunky-dory, but the effort should be there completely. Right? Yes, Apurva, your turn.
Yes, ma'am, exactly. That is what was going on in my mind, that we are so quick to judge our parents. You know, you did this wrong, you should have done this. It is only after when you yourself become a parent and you are put in the same situation, and then you end up, I mean, acting the same way, doing the same thing that your parents did. And then you realize that, oh my God, you know, I mean, so then you realize that how we kind of come to these conclusions. And when my
Absolutely.
daughter points it out to me, then it's like I mean, I come to realize that, yes, you know, what I was assuming about my parents was not 100% true.
Right.
They were doing
Right.
their best. Now in their,
Exactly.
yeah,
They were doing their best in their circumstances. Of course, there's bad parenting also. I'm not denying it. There have been situations where children have been traumatized by their parents. But do you remember, and please raise your hands for this when I say it, okay? That when you were young, in the process of growing up, if of course we are mostly girls here, so parents used to say, जब तुम्हारी शादी होगी ना तब तुम्हें पता चलेगा. Or they would say, जब तुम्हारे बच्चे होंगे ना तब पता चलेगा. Now, what did they do? Please raise your hands if you agree with this. Yeah, what did they do? And without realizing, they put a curse on us. It's a curse. Curse doesn't have to be, you know, all that negative kind of thing. Even this is a curse. कि जब तुम्हारी शादी होगी तब पता लगेगा, तुम्हारे बच्चे होंगे तब पता लगेगा. So we can work on it. All of us can work on it. You know, I transform and transcend all curses across time and space.
You will do it
So,
right now.
yeah, it happens. It happens. Nobody does it on purpose. But
Yeah.
it is their way of making you realize that their frustration, you know, of trying to make you realize that, do you realize that life is not easy? Please understand life will be tough. There would be challenges. And if you don't learn it now, you will not be able to handle. पर इतना लंबा sentence कौन बोलेगा? हम सुनेंगे क्या? नहीं सुनेंगे.
But
So what did they
ma'am,
say?
can I say something? I differ.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I differ in this.
Okay.
Matlab, I feel that somebody said, because they are frustrated, they are irritated, they said this. And the way it has come to the other person in such a bad way that that person is like, what, like my mother-in-law is very fond of this. कि जब तुम्हारे बच्चे होंगे, तुम्हारे बच्चा होगा तब पता चलेगा, and वो हिसाब करेगा क्या सही है क्या, all those kind of talks she's doing with me, she used to do with me. So the bad impact it has given, nobody realizes, no, neither the person who is saying and the person who is taking it. So ma'am,
Yeah.
is it so easy? Curse is so easy to give.
Yeah, don't we curse ourselves? मैं कभी शादी नहीं करूंगी. बोल दिया. That's a curse to ourselves and a promise we made to ourselves. मैं, you know, I can't even remember because I don't know these kind of curses, but we sometimes we say that something like आज के बाद मुझसे कभी बात नहीं करना. You never talk to me. Don't connect with
ये
me
तो मैं
ever
अपने
again.
बेटे को भी
Ever
बोलती हूँ.
again. Ever again. Now, ever, always, never. These words are across time and space. I'll always love you. Please, मत कहना. Next life में हो सकता है तुम उसका कार्मिक वो क्या कहते हैं, स्टॉकर बन के आ जाओ.
This
क्या
is such
करोगे?
a general and common statement. Since childhood, we have been saying, writing on the cards
Exactly.
for friends,
Exactly.
for mothers, and everybody.
Exactly. No, again, when you're making it a very direct, I'll always love you.
Yes, yes.
What have we done? Across time and space, we have Send the message to the universe. कुछ हो जाए. Next year, next life, maybe I come as your mother-in-law, because I'll always love you, and I'm not going to let you go. Or I'll become your stalker, or God knows, we don't know. So we have to be very careful of always, never, ever, these words. Okay, again, these are perceptions that we need to break. So please work on your oaths, vows, and curses. Oaths, vows, and promises. There are two different things. So if there are curses that you have done to yourself or to others, I transform and transcend my curses across time and space. Simple. And then you're breaking the curses.
Ma'am, even knowing so much, day before yesterday, my younger one was troubling me. And I was saying, bas kar bachche, bas kar. And I said, okay, when you'll have your babies, no? Then she said, okay, don't tell me. I said, oh, sorry. So now I'll do that right now.
Actually, so yeah, we need to be just aware and be very cautious of the
correct.
because our perception of how we are facing life, we may make it a reality for our children, which is not needed.
Yeah, it is not needed. Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely not needed. Maybe the child was just teasing me, and I was that was it.
So we need to you see, when we say raise your vibrations, or what frequency are you operating on?
Correct.
We all know that we have various frequencies, right?
Correct.
And we have levels of vibrations also. So if you're vibrating at a low level, you will keep attracting situations and all that is not so nice in your space, and you'll continue to suffer with it. But if you decide to raise your vibrations with all the radical affirmations, with becoming aware of soul's love, with becoming aware of how to transform, transcend, becoming aware of awareness of what is going on in my life, there is no reason that things will not change for you. Last week, you people, some of you may have been here. We had one of our students, ex-students, who had been going through a certain situation in her life, which was very, very sensitive. And she said it openly. She says, ma'am, it's taken 6 months, but the pattern has finally broken. There has been a shift. And now that shift is based on what I decide how things are to be done. So it happens. Everything cannot happen overnight. We think, कि वो जादू की छड़ी चलाओ और सब काम हो जाए. वो नहीं होता. That is not life. Right?
No, ma'am. So God has given me solution right now. It has just happened 2 days back in half a sentence. So we'll do it right now.
Right. Great.
Thank you.
Who's this? Paramita. Yes, Paramita, you'll be the last, and then we'll close the session. It's already 9 o'clock. Tell me, Paramita.
Yes, ma'am. Is any reading for me? Actually, I have some conceptions like if I always be calm and quiet, my daughter will be like this. But when she's growing, I think the thing is different. Or other thing, in my childhood, I thought if I become calm and always be obedient to parents, or give the attention to studies, my growing stage will be very good, and I may be glad each and everybody will praise me. And in the reality, I saw that my in-laws always offended on me, always saying rude words for me, or always speaking that I'm eating so much, I'm doing nothing, like same type of words all the time. And after that, my all hope is for my daughter. Then again, I'm seeing she is not obeying me too much or not. She has her own choices and doing as she want. So there are lots of dissatisfaction from my perception and reality. And also in my profession, I always receive less amount than others. But after that, when I'm going to be mother. From that time, family also don't allow me to do job from the office. And still now, from 2016, I'm not getting any particular job, actual job, which I can do work from home and getting a reasonable salary or actual getting salary. So there are lots of issues. I've
Okay,
traveled
firstly,
so much.
yeah,
So
Paramita,
any remark what I say?
yeah, okay. Paramita, firstly, what level are you doing with us?
I
Are
from
you doing the curriculum?
2021 I'm attached with Redikall, but uh, I was not able to do any paid course. As I told you, lots
Okay,
of
okay,
story. I don't have any supportive one who can
okay,
allow me to do. But
okay,
I have full gratitude to Redikall that um, I get lots of statements or
yeah,
ideas
yeah,
about the j-
okay. So,
situations or
no
statements
worries,
like this.
no worries. We are always there, Paramita. So I would also advise you कि website पे go on the chat line and जो भी आपका situations होते हैं ना, you can work on it one by one. That's absolutely free. Please go on our chat line. That's one. Right now, what I can see is that you always had this need to be needed. Okay. So, because you've had this need to be needed, you have been facing situations which have been in your family house, in your earlier time with your parents. You always wanted to please and do the best and be the best, work well, etc. But now, in the in law's house, this is a new energy, it's a different energy, and their approach cannot be as it was with your parents. Here, there may be expectations for you to perform, expectations for you to do, and maybe according to them, it is not meeting their standards. So they're always saying something to you. Because of your constant need to be needed, this is why it is continuously coming up in your space. So you can do the statement, I transform and transcend my need to be needed. And I transform and transcend my reasons for the need to be needed. And I transform and transcend my resistance to let go of the need to be needed.
Yes, ma'am. I transform and transcend my need to be needed. I transform and transcend the reason my need to be needed. I transform and transcend my resistance of let's go, my
My
need to be
resistance,
needed.
my resistance to let go.
My resistance to let's go, my need to be needed.
Right. Work on this consistently and keep coming to the chat line and you will get the support over there. Okay, Paramita?
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. So thank you, everyone. I hope it has been a helpful session for you and helps you understand the difference between perception and reality and how we are the game players in this game of perception. Right? So all the best, and I hope this will help you move forward to retune, fine tune your reality in your personal space and with people around you, or money, or things, or house, or relationships, anything, slowly but steadily. Thank you so much. See you again next Friday. And don't forget to write your comments for this on the Circle of Peaceful Progress page, how you liked it, so that we can keep improving and making better programs for you. Thank you. Bye-bye.